Tonight, we're going to have a conversation with a member of the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral project. Reverend Dr. Joyce Aryee has agreed to speak to us on the National Cathedral. Madam, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much. Mommy, the issue of the National Cathedral, the president said it was a priority of priorities. He said it was his own commitment to God. He invited the church to join, and of course, you've been doing what you have to do. A board was set up and all of that. Work is progressing. But the scandals are becoming one too many. Are you not worried?
Is that so? Is that so?
Well,
I have a friend, and we have a saying between us that every exaggeration is a lie. So if you say the scandals are being too many, I would ask, how many scandals are we talking about?
So there are issues about how much money has been paid to the architect. There are issues about money being sent to one company who is not supposed to be engaging in contractual or construction work, and even though that has been captured in the budget as so, and I'm referring to what the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablaka recently raised, there's issues about double identity. So let's pick them one after the other. Let's start with the issue that has to do with the 2.5 million cedis that was transferred to GNS. 2.6 million, yes. GNS Talents Center Limited. Could that not have been avoided?
As far as I know, in August, we were in need of 2.6 million. A letter was written to that effect. And a member of the board decided to help, and so the money came into the account from the accountant general. And that's exactly what happened. Now, he wasn't doing any contractual work. He didn't get any fees for giving that money. I think maybe my auditors should hold me accountable, because here in Salt and Light, there are many times when money is needed and Joyce Aryee gives a check, and when money comes in, it's refunded to Joyce Aryee. So these things happen, as far as I know. Especially since it wasn't given us a loan. It wasn't given us a loan with interest. It was a simple transaction of meeting a need because it was urgent.
Okay. The issue is with who is helping you meet the need. The member of parliament
that one, I would say, talk to Okudzeto and talk to the person he's accusing. Because whether it's double identity or something like that, I know nothing about that. And I don't think it's fair to drag the National Cathedral in for somebody's accusation against another. I think that's how I would put it.
The thing is that if people find one of his claims to be true, chances are that they may find the other claim, or they may believe the second claim. So he first.
Why don't we cross that bridge when we get there? Let's cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
If people are going to find things, and so let them find it, and then we'll cross that bridge.
But has a board convened on all the allegations made by the member of parliament, especially?
Would you want me to tell you what we do on the board? I wouldn't ask you how often you have meetings, your leadership meetings, even when there are issues. I wouldn't ask you that. Umaru, I wouldn't.
Yes, except when there is a controversy that has generated national interest.
Even if there's a controversy, I wouldn't come publicly and ask you, have you met on the controversy? I think that's a private matter that we should leave to the board.
So has the board questioned Reverend Victor Kusi-Boateng on all the allegations made against him as yet?
Umaru, I know you want to extract information out of me. And all I would say is that let's leave private board matters private. Why should I come and tell you on air that, yes, we met and we told him this and we told him that and he said this and he said that? No, I don't think this is a matter for public discussion.
The reason is public, and forgive me, people say that because of the accusations against him being a secretary to your board, the whole board should be dissolved. What do you say to that?
I will say that's their opinion. I violently disagree. Again, who are these people who are saying it? What percentage of the population is it?
It's a member of parliament, like I was saying, because he got one fact right.
Which one did he get right?
That
the money was loaned.
Yes.
And returned.
Yes.
Based on documents that were presented to Parliament. All those documents are in Parliament. All those documents were presented to Parliament when we had to go there to defend the budget of the 80 million. All those documents were presented to Parliament. So it's not as if, any document was found anywhere else other than what was presented to Parliament.
The issue of conflict of interest also arose from that. How does the board intend to handle the issue of conflict of interest?
Well, I won't tell you how the board intends to handle it. I will not.
Okay. The reason is that the member of parliament who made the allegation said he needed to see bank transfer, specific details of the letter
let him come and talk to us. Let him come and show us his locus for coming to talk to us. Is he coming as a private member of parliament? Is he coming because he's representing a parliamentary subcommittee or what? I think there are processes. But if he wants to come, he's completely welcome to do so.
If I, as a journalist, ask whether the board wrote specifically to JNS and if that letter can be made public,
that letter was also in Parliament.
The request for the money.
Parliament. Yes, it was also in Parliament.
All right. The issue of the board again, considering the resignations from the board, people say that weakens the board. One. Two, the issue of unity among the Christian faith members, the key leaders who are supposed to be the pillars that are putting this project up. Because seems to be disagreements, resignations, and so on, the whole project's unity of purpose is questioned. What do you say to that?
I would say no to that. If there are people, one, how many resignations have we had?
Two.
No, not two. Not two. If I show you the document that registered that, then maybe you would know what I'm talking about. So you can even go to the Registrar General and see who are the registered members of the National Cathedral as a company registered by guarantee.
So
you will see who are the members on it, and then you can talk about what you're talking about. Maybe you should take a look at it, and then we can have a discussion later on that.
So officially, how many people resigned from the board?
There's one letter of resignation that I know of, but that was even, I don't want to talk about it. I don't really want to talk about it because let's leave that to, we have issued a statement on it. And I think that is fine. Doug is a wonderful man of God. I don't think he should become a subject of, these discussions. I don't think so. I would highly respect some of these things. As a child of God, I wouldn't do that to a brother of mine.
But when are we going to see or hear formally from the board on some of the issues he raised?
When have you raised issues which we have not responded to?
No, because he has left and he has raised some issues that we believe we should be hearing answers from the board.
Follow them up if you're interested, and we'll take it up on that. Please follow them up if you're interested.
Can I use this forum to follow them up and ask why, for instance?
No. As I said, you're not going to turn things around and get me to speak about Bishop Dag, right? I don't think it's fair. I don't think so.
Does his exit?
Take the letter that we issued, the press release that we issued, take everything in it as our position on the matter.
Are there members of the board who are weightier than others, in that can decisions be taken without some of the board members being notified? Because I noticed he has said that he wasn't privy to quote and unquote weighty decisions on the National Cathedral. And this afternoon, yes.
Umaru,
yes, Mommy.
I said I'm not going to discuss that, and that you should take what our position is, which we have come out collectively on.
Let's talk about.
You should respect that.
I do respect that, and I'm going to move on. Yeah. So the project itself, we are in hard times. There are all these debates and quote and unquote battles over debt exchange program. We are going to IMF and so on. The question has been put forth on various fora as to whether this is really the time that we should be spending money on a national cathedral. The relevance of the project has been brought to question. What would be your response as a board member to that?
The National Cathedral was never meant to be funded entirely by the state. It never was meant like that. And even what the state has spent, it has spent because it considers it seed money. It was never meant to be fully financed by the state. And when we were called, that's what we were told. The state would do certain things, and we, the members of the board, were to make sure that we raised the money to build the cathedral. It was never, ever meant to be fully financed by the state.
Do you, and forgive me, maybe we didn't plan that you should talk about this, but do you remember what percentage the state was supposed to provide? Because we do know that.
But I'm still looking for it. I think that's the question we need to go and ask. That since the state said it would give us seed money, what percentage is it giving? We haven't got that, actually.
You were not told, or you were told, but they're not living up to that?
We were not told. We were just told seed money. And we have relied on what seed money the government would find from time to time. We have not been told the exact amount that the seed money is.
Which means that you were building blind.
No, we were not building blind, because seed is not entire. The seed is not meant to be the entire amount. And so we were not building blind.
But if you had no idea how much the state's commitment was, then you don't know where else you are going, how much you're going to raise. And I've seen many people refer to Luke 14:28, where Jesus said...
Jesus is talking about discipleship.
Yes, but...
He was talking about discipleship.
Not concrete building.
No, not mortar buildings. He was talking about discipleship.
But on the face of it, who goes into a building project without knowing how much they are supposed to raise as counterpart funding to a state that says, I'm going to supply you?
So you take it that you are raising the whole money. That's how you take it. You see the other one as a gift, and you decide that you need to raise the whole money. You don't go into it just because I'm building and Umaru says, I'll help you. I don't decide that Umaru is going to help me with 90% and I'm only going to do 10%. No, I decide that it will be wonderful when Umaru brings his gift. But otherwise, I'm building. That's how I should see it.
Except in this case, Umaru, whose other name is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has said that it is his personal commitment to his God and invited you to help him. So he is the one being helped. He should be the one giving the capital, then you give your support. But if it's being turned around that you'll be bringing the funding and expect to bring 100% if he supports you, so be it, then it means it's your project and not his project.
Actually, the articles of incorporation make us the project owner.
Okay, so it's not going to be the state's project. It's going to be the project owned by...
It will be a national monument. It will be a national monument.
Built and owned by... Built and owned by...
Entirely. Not built entirely. The state, even giving land, is a certain amount of money, isn't it?
It is a very huge too. Many people say that. Many people even talk about the geographical location of the cathedral.
Yeah, that has been a source of debate. But I remember when the pink, you know the pink lady.
No, please.
You don't know the pink lady?
No, mommy.
It's Accra International Conference Center.
Yes.
It was called the Pink Lady.
Oh, mommy,
because the tiles were pink.
Mommy, this is unfair to me. When
You are the baby.
Thank you. Okay, so putting it close to the Pink Lady, the Parliament House, the National Theatre.
Yes.
Traffic. Considering that the road from Liberation...
let me finish talking about that.
Please go ahead.
Let me finish talking about what you asked me.
Okay.
You know, when the Pink Lady was raised, the place was a race course. Some people have spent more than 50 years, 100 years running the race course. But it was felt that was the best place to build it. So the race course had to be missed. People lost money. But it was for a good purpose. And so, as far as I know, there will always be discussion about whether a place is the best place to leave it, and so on and so forth. So that is how I see it. I think it's a very strategic place to have it. And that's how we all feel.
Even though
some people don't like it, but some people said we should go to Amasaman. Some other people said we should have gone to Pram, you know. But even there, we would have gone to find that no land is fallow. No land is fallow. Whether you're building roads or you're building the schools or you're building other things, no land is fallow.
Indeed.
No land is fallow.
Indeed, we have no ownerless lands, but we have cheap land and expensive land. The land that the cathedral is going to be built on is very expensive because we have to remove judges.
But for God, is there anything that is too expensive for God?
Okay, the argument has been made that this is not really a church in the strict sense of the word. It's a monument. So is it a God's house we are building or a project that looks like National Theatre, Conference Center?
No. This has a sanctuary for worship. It will have a chapel that seats about 350. It will have prayer rooms and so on. So the sanctuary will be there, except that it is not a church in the ordinary sense of the word. It will be used for national purposes, even though the small chapel can be used for a weekly church service. It will not be the main sanctuary.
People talk about priorities again. At the time we are going to IMF begging them to come help us, we are asking pensioners, we are asking individual bondholders to help us pay our debts. Should we be committing state money or taxpayers' money? Taxpayers' money. I'm referring to the part that I'm referring to the part that the state is committing, because the state, we do know. In fact, recently,
but that is why Parliament that has the right says it will not approve it. The 80 million.
It's thrown out that one out.
Yeah, he says that I wouldn't use those words. He says he won't approve it, but your choice of words is your own. So,
where does that leave the project? How far with the?
If the state is not building it, Umaru, then it doesn't leave the project in any other way except that it will go on and it will be built, because let me stress again and again, the state said it would give seed money. It never said it would build it entirely. It never said so. Nowhere have any of us said that the state is funding everything. We haven't said it anywhere, and we won't say it anywhere. That's why, we're doing various methods of fundraising, including mass fundraising.
How is that coming, though, the fundraising? Are people giving money?
Oh, kakra, which is expected. Kakra. It's coming. Kakra.
Mom, because it's kakra, it means that they don't want it, so they are giving small money. If they wanted it, they would have given plenty.
Umaru, if you go to church and they say they're going to build, and even they levy, women's fellowship, this, men's fellowship, it still comes kakra.
That is true.
I know, for example, this last year's budget in my church, last year's harvest in my church, we started from January and ended in December, because it has to come kakra. So the fact that it's coming kakra does not mean people don't want it. People will bring it as and when they have it.
How much have we raised kakra so far?
The main can't show, because yours has not come yet. As soon as yours comes out.
Mommy, the National Chief Imam paid mine on my behalf.
Oh, boy. It was from him personally.
Okay.
National Chief Imam, he paid for himself.
Okay. Now, if we continue at this rate, it may take us forever to finish. Would we have a timeline that we are working with? Because people are again mocking the project, saying that it looks like a football field.
It's even in the Bible that things get mocked. I remember when Nehemiah was building the wall, one of them said, even if a fox walks on it, it will break down. So as for mocking, it's okay. It's okay. We shouldn't be so upset because some people don't like it. There are lots of times when a lot of people don't say anything, a few say things. So we mustn't generalize and say people don't like it. In any case, God loves a cheerful giver, and he can do wonders even with little. So we must always think of these things, Umaru. And I know that there are some cathedrals that take a long time. In fact, there's a particular cathedral in Barcelona. It's being used, people go there, but the architect had some fantastic ideas, and it's still not finished. But it's being used.
So this may take us a long time. Maybe some people may not even live to see it.
We hope not.
But we project to finish it before Akufo-Addo ends his tenure?
Well, that too. Well, let me go and discuss it at the board level. Then at our next interview, I'll share it with you.
Okay. A Catholic friend of mine has sent me a message. He says that every cathedral has a bishop. Who will be the bishop for this cathedral? And I'm sure the person is asking it in relation to whether it's going to be a national monument, a church, an interdenominational center, and so on.
If you're using the Roman Catholic or Anglican, how would I call it?
Doctrine or
doctrinal, their doctrinal stand, then that's what you would say. But if that is not, because if it has a bishop, it's because the place is used for daily worship. I'm not even sure that the Notre Dame is like that. But when you live in a Roman Catholic country, that is what will happen. Or if you live in an Anglican country, that is what will happen, So as for nomenclatures and so on, I don't think we should spend too much time. I have another meeting.
Yes, indeed. I was just going to say that.
Talking to you, and we can do it again.
Thank you, Reverend. In fact, I'm very grateful you spoke to us tonight. We are really grateful. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Most welcome. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak.
God bless you.
Bless you too much.
That's Reverend Dr. Joyce Aryee of the Salt and Light Ministry. She's a member of the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral Project.